Silent Hill Homecoming was a game I was pretty excited about actually getting to play. It'd be the first game to really bring Silent Hill onto the 7th generation consoles. But as I started to go through this one, I began to realize I'd rather be playing the Silent Hill play novel despite the fact I wouldn't be able to understand it.
Again, like the warning said, I'm not holding back on the spoilers, so you've been warned. Alex is a former soldier, only not really, that bit is in his head, but this somehow still makes him the most combat efficient character you've used in a Silent Hill game.
I wish I could gain skills I don't have just by inventing phony aspects to my past.
But Alex's combat skills is one of the big downfalls of Homecoming in my opinion. Because of this, the game gets a more action-oriented feel to it, which greatly brings down the fear compared to the previous titles. Homecoming works on a combo system with quick and hard slashes with your melee weapons, and these will be what you'll use for the most part due to the fact that firearm ammo is scarce and, well really, it is the more effective way to deal with the enemies.
Which I think in Silent Hill is a huge mistake. Before you'd mostly rely on a firearm, which is good because you didn't want any of those things getting near you. And you would really dread when you had to take on any of them with a melee weapon.
Geez, even when you got the badass katana in Silent Hill 1, you'd still likely end up getting your ass kicked if you tried to rely on it too much. I guess it makes sense it was the reward for getting the bad ending. But in Homecoming, it's quite the opposite. The firearms aren't even actually all that useful.
I got a shot.
This time it brings you into a free aim mode, which usually you didn't have time for because if you did want to use a gun, it'd be in a quick response or after you've ran back a bit, meaning your aim would pretty much never be in the right spot, and by the time you got it there, they'd be in melee range. And then of course there's pretty much no reason not to melee fight them.
Homecoming was all about just getting into the right combo, most of the time being something like quick, hard slash, throwing a dodge on some, and most of the enemies wouldn't be able to touch you. So with the game system of having you run right into their face and combo them to death, you very quickly start to lose any of the fear these enemies should be bringing.
The explanation for this extreme change in game mechanics was the change in development team, with the original Team Silent having broken up, and instead of this even going to another team in Japan, it ended up in North America, and in a general sense, action-type horror over the atmospheric is more commonplace.
And I'm not trying to say Homecoming had no real atmosphere, but again, because of the gameplay, you get into the wrong mindset for it, so despite having some good visuals and such at times, you don't feel that inhibited about blazing through them, as you're just getting ready to combo the next enemy to hell!
It's all about quickness with the melee weapons too, so you'll probably find the knife is the best weapon in the whole game. Firearms ended up just being something I'd use to try and inflict a little extra damage on a boss before they got close, as they were slower.
I know I'm harping on this point a lot, but it really is a big problem. Silent Hill should never almost start to feel like a beat-em-up.
The only Silent Hill combos I want are when I'm playing its songs on DDR.
Wait, what?
Also, some of the enemies in this game just seem extremely out of place, like the smog monster with its bright colors. The only disturbing thing about it is that they thought it looked right in a Silent Hill game. Now, as for Pyramid Head in this game, they changed him from that fun-loving guy we all knew from Silent Hill 2 into some idiot who likes to hang out with bugs.
Movie.
Okay, seriously, Pyramid Head does nothing more than a glorified cameo in this game. Some people try to say he had a point here, but no. Pyramid Head is in this game for one reason. He got popular.
Cameo!
Pyramid Head was originally made by James's mind to punish himself for murdering his wife Mary because of his guilt. While Alex does pretty much have the same thing going on in his head, Pyramid Head never does a thing to Alex in this game. He appears twice, first roaming down the hallway just to say hi, then he kills Alex's father, Adam.
Hey, don't you walk away from me!
You have no idea what I'm capable of.
You don't know who you're dealing with! Don't ever tell me what I can't do, ever! This is destiny.
Stop giving me orders, Dad.
Don't tell me what I can't...
And actually, he's probably right there at the beginning as well, just out of sight. It said he might instead represent Adam's guilt, or Alex's anger, which actually seems the more likely. Because all the bosses in this were based around the children of the founding families of Shepherd's Glen, which Alex's family is a part of.
Forgive me.
And in one of his endings, he gets turned into a Pyramid Head. Also, on a side note, they did the exact same thing in one of Origin's endings with Travis turning into the Butcher. But the main thing here is, why Pyramid Head? Wasn't this a creation of James's mind? It seems odd these two's minds would conjure up pretty much the same guy. Unless, of course, that painting James sees in the Historical Society was real, and that is how the ancient executioners of Silent Hill looked. But then again, they are shown to look like this, not this!
Yup, again with the damn movie. I found it particularly wrong for them to use the movie design in the game universe. But hey, maybe this does explain Pyramid Head's appearance here. Maybe Alex seen the movie before his little adventure in Silent Hill.
Right down to the hanging out with bugs. What does that symbolize to Alex? How buggy his adventure through Silent Hill would be at times? They also used the design for the cult members from the movie, which is not the same cult as from the games, but that isn't as stupid as the fact that they are one of the regular enemies in Homecoming. You did this like once before when you fought Eddie, and that was a significant event.
I killed a human being.
You want a piece of me?
In fact, in Homecoming, you seem to constantly be running into normal people for some chats or to chop down.
As much as I don't like normal people being used as regular enemies, they could have at least been used efficiently, as a normal person isn't going to set off your radio, so you wouldn't know what's going on with your radio. So they could have been a more stealthy enemy, but no, every time they catch sight of you, they yell out something to the effect of, "Hey, it's that fucker Shepard! Get him!"
There was actually one movie reference I liked, though I'm not exactly sure is meant as one. In the spot where you actually get to go up to the church from the first game and try to open the door, you get this message.
And if that was meant as a knock on the movie, then I approve.
Also, using the Otherworld transition was cool too. As I said before, I thought the movie had some good visuals. It was just them fucking the story and adding witch-burning crap that ruined it.
And Homecoming's story really did end up falling flat with me, particularly when I found out it was just a rehash of Silent Hill 2 at the end.
Alex, for the most part, is searching for his younger brother Josh, but in the twist ending he remembers, he accidentally killed Josh and it blocked it out of his mind. I guess that's completely different from James's story, though, as that was his wife.
And it's kind of ridiculous in this one when Alex goes around telling people he's looking for Josh and they all just kind of ignore it with no one telling him, "Josh is dead, you idiot!"
Where's Josh?
I don't know. Your father went to look for him.
I'll find Joshua.
Shattered Memories, despite being a reimagining, had a more original story and better story than this, which is also why I say it didn't need to be a reimagining. To sum up Homecoming, the founding families of Shepherd's Glen had to sacrifice one of their children every 50 years to hold back the evil from Silent Hill, because when they moved out of town, the evil cult apparently decided to be dicks. Alex was supposed to be the sacrifice from the Shepherd family, but when Josh died, he couldn't handle it. He got sent to the mental institution instead of getting sacrificed.
I don't quite get that one. Josh died, so Alex wasn't sacrificed. Of course, I think the Shepherds and the other families are fucking idiots for going along with the sacrifice plan instead of, oh, I don't know, moving out of Shepherd's Glen, but I don't see how this screwed up the whole sacrifice Alex plan.
You learn throughout this game that Alex's parents were always cold to Alex and favored Josh, which was also part of what led to Josh's accidental death.
It's Dad's ring. But he told me not to show you, so I guess that makes me cooler.
Let me see it.
No!
What a piece of crap.
They were always assholes to Alex because they knew one day they were going to sacrifice him, which I really couldn't believe.
When you find out the truth of Josh's death, his father tells Alex, "It was you," which I misread the first time to mean Alex was the one they were sparing, which made a lot more sense to me.
I thought Josh was the favored one because they knew what they were going to do to him and wanted him to have a happy life before they pulled their shithead move and killed him. Which would also make sense that his death on the boat messed up the sacrifice, but no, they were going to kill Alex.
So they gave Alex a shittier, unloved life because it'd be easier for them when the time came to kill him, and you're supposed to forgive these fuckheads?
This is what determines what ending you'll get in Homecoming. You get to a point where you can choose to forgive both your parents before they die.
But I had to make a choice. And the only way to live with that was to make sure my son never loved me.
And doing so will give you the best ending. Oh, and also saving your cop friend Wheeler plays a part in this. And actually, if you don't forgive either of your parents and save him, you can end up with the UFO ending on your first playthrough.
So that's where they've been taking everybody. I knew it!
Yeah, it's a pretty weak UFO ending too, isn't it?
Origins was great, as was Shattered Memories, but this is just one of the few times where it seems like they kind of cheaped out on this game. Like I found when I looked around for anything extra that might be freaky while in the other world, I'd end up seeing nothing. And when doing that in the previous games, it had usually turned up something odd or disturbing. It was really a disappointment.
Homecoming thus far has been the most disappointing Silent Hill I've played. The comboing takes you out of the atmosphere, there's a severe lack of polish on the whole thing, Alex isn't really that interesting of a character, and when his story twist ends up being the exact same as James's from Silent Hill 2, you just feel cheated.
Homecoming again just ends up with too much of a focus on its combo-oriented action gameplay, and its story is nothing near the drive as its predecessors. Origins and Shattered Memories both have some issues, but I think were executed much better.
So yeah, those were my issues with Homecoming. Oh, come on, you have to do this to me again? What are you gonna do to me, Otherworld? Kill me? One of the nurses. Oh no. It's that fucker, Phelous! Get him!
He refused to give in to the town that takes all. Survive. You must have the will. This movie doesn't end the way we want all the time. Then he shouts at the moon.
It's the most straight up serious review I've done, so naturally I thought I should end it with cross-dressing.